What's up, guys? This is Joe from Analog Archive, back with another vinyl video. Today's video is going to be another contribution to the Blue Note 1500 series project that was started by Steven from In the Bass Clef. I've contributed to this series already quite a few albums, at least 3 or 4 albums. The playlist can be found on my channel along with Steven's channel In the Bass Clef. If you've missed other ones or if you want to see what's been shown already. This is a great series that was inspired by the Blue Note 4000 series that started around this time last year by Sherv, Julius Jabbar, Dave Local Bandography, and Rob at Sounds Strange. So this is the 1500 series, the earliest Blue Note albums that were 12-inch releases that were mainly from 56 to around maybe 50, late 58. And so this is the one that I'm going to show today is Blue Note 1542, Sonny Rollins. Sometimes it's Sonny Rollins Volume 1. Other times or on certain copies of it, it says Volume 1. Other ones it doesn't. In this case, this one doesn't say it. But the original cover actually had the photo going vertically, and then it said like Sonny Rollins next to that. So the later represses had it be more of a horizontal, but I'll talk about what pressing this is at the end. This has Donald Byrd on trumpets, Sonny Rollins on tenor sax, Wynton Kelly's on the piano, Gene Ramey's on bass, and then Max Roach is on the drums. So Max Roach didn't really have many appearances on Blue Note. He was very prolific on like Emersy, especially, but he did make a appearance on this one. He's also, I think, on one of the Thad Jones 1500 series records that I believe has been shown, but in either case, a great addition to this album on the drums. So there are 5 tracks that appear on this album, 3 on the A side and then 2 on the B side. And aside from the closing track on the A side, all of them are Sonny Rollins originals. So impressive that his first album on Blue Note, which is what this is, him as a leader, would have 4 tracks be his original composition. So very impressive in that regard. This album was recorded December 16th, 1956, and then it came out in 1957. As I had already said, this was Sonny Rollins' first Blue Note album as a leader. This was not obviously his first album as a leader in jazz, because he had already had quite a string of albums on Prestige, Work Time. Maybe about 6 months before this one, he had recorded Saxophone Colossus, and just obviously the masterpiece that album is, but also a handful of other Prestige albums. Trying to think of some other ones. There's like a Sonny Rollins +4. There's a another one I can picture the cover, but I can't think of what it was, but that was from 55. So he had obviously had quite a few albums already, was very comfortable, but was really going to be taking off as the years went on, especially as you got closer to like 1960. But this was as far his kind of start on Blue Note, and we'll get into the track. So the opening track is called Decision. It's a medium tempo track, and right from the start, it begins with Sonny Rollins and Donald Byrd kind of together with these very short staccatoed notes to set the tone of what the melody is, and then it gets into the track itself. But it is a little bit slower of a track. Maybe again it's more of like a medium tempo, but it's got some great solos to start it off. The second track is called Blues Note, and that is a much quicker tempo. Again, right out the gate, it's very quick. Sonny Rollins starts it off and then is joined by Donald Byrd, who plays the melody for a few bars, and then Sonny Rollins solos again for a short time, and then the melody comes in, and then Donald Byrd actually is the one that really started off the solos, and just a really incredible tone, that classic sound from Sonny Rollins, his ability to be able to effortlessly go from note to note, hit those real high notes with ease, and just a very incredible solo to kind of to start that track with. And then Sonny Rollins comes in and is really able to kind of push the tempo a little bit as well, but his is a little bit more focused of an approach, really that classic Sonny Rollins tone, at least in my opinion, from the different albums that I've heard. He's never really been the type of player to really go off the rails and just play as quick as possible. He's really tried to use his time wisely, and this track definitely shows that very well. And then Wynton Kelly has a solo on that one after the horns, and his is a very nice bluesy kind of feel to it, and playing, and just a real nice solo for that. And then we get into the closing song on the A side, which is How Are Things in Glocka Mora. And this, again, is the only track that is not an original. This is a standard by Burton Lane and E.Y. Harburg, I believe it is. I just want to make sure I get that name right. Yeah, E.Y. Harburg. This also has a very quick tempo to it as well. This is showing off a little bit more of the versatility that Sonny Rollins has, his ability to, especially in this track, push that tempo, really play a little bit quicker than you'd hear on other albums at this time, but just a really enjoyable solo there, very quick set of notes. So as I said just a minute ago, he wasn't really throughout his career ever known for really playing very quickly. The compositions that he's always had, now this one isn't his, but his approach has always been more focused, making the notes count, instead of it just being essentially just like a blowing session. So but in this case, he really does push that tempo a little bit more. His solo is a bit lengthier as well, closer to 3 minutes for that one. So definitely a lengthier solo, but this is also a little bit longer of a track as well. So that kind of lends to that. And then Donald Byrd comes in for another solo, or for his solo on that track. Again, very quick playing, very effortless with his solo, hitting those higher notes very easily, and really setting the tone very well for what he would go on to kind of play in his style. So great playing as well there. Really noticed Wynton Kelly's solo on that as well. At one point early on in his solo, he repeats the keys that he hits, that gives that real bluesy sound to it, but really emphasizing the notes that he's playing, and just really impressive in that way. Then we get to the B side. The opening song is called Plain Jane, and this is the ballad on the album. And Donald Byrd actually chooses to use a mute on this. And from the beginning, it sounds like he's going to get a solo, but actually, this is actually more of a quartet setting for this, with Donald Byrd really only playing a little bit at the beginning, and then coming in at the end for that final melody to be played. So it's really just Sonny Rollins and Wynton Kelly soloing on that one. And so you really get to hear a slower pace Sonny Rollins, what he's going to be coming up with, and it's a nice contrast to the rest of the album. And then you get to the closing song, which is called Sonny's Sphere, and it starts with a real nice, almost like head bopping, toe tapping melody to it, and beat. Sonny Rollins all of a sudden just starts playing a quick succession of notes, and then the melody comes in with Sonny Rollins and Donald Byrd, and they both start to play, and then Sonny Rollins takes his solo and is equipped to set that tone of what the track is going to be like and where things are going to go. But just a really great solo. I think of all the tracks, I really enjoyed Sonny Rollins' solo on that one. Just very focused, very passionate solo in that one. So great one. And then Donald Byrd, another great one, hitting those high notes again, which was something that he really that really set him apart from other trumpet players at the time. The last album that I talked about, which was Blue Note 1540, which was the Hank Mobley Sextet with Donald Byrd and Lee Morgan. On all the tracks, there was two trumpet players, Donald Byrd and Lee Morgan, and to really be able to tell the difference, Lee Morgan was a lot more about the quick versatility of the notes, very fast playing. Donald Byrd was known for that, but he always mixed in those higher notes, which was something that really set him apart from Lee Morgan, at least from these earlier sessions. So those are the 5 tracks that are on the album, and just a really great set of songs, and a really enjoyable album. Yeah, so that's what this is, Blue Note 1542. As I said at the beginning, this was an album that I had, well, I didn't say this at the beginning, but the version that I have is it's actually a white label promo Japanese pressing from the King Records era, so late 70s. I think this is like 1977. This came out. I had ordered this right at the beginning of the pandemic, or towards the beginning last year in like April, from a seller, and it was advertised as being the normal version that had the classic Blue Note label on it. But to my surprise, when I received it, it obviously had the white label to it. I don't really think it makes much of a difference. I don't know what the promo versus the normal versions, if it was just like all promos are, being early versions, early stamps of it. So that might benefit me, but from what I've listened to the few times that I've listened to this since I've got it, I've really enjoyed the sound. The quality is great. This is mono, I believe. Let me actually check. I don't know if it actually says on the labels or not. It doesn't, no, but I'm pretty sure that this is mono. I don't think I would have bought it if it had been stereo, to tell you the truth, but it may be stereo, I might be wrong. But a really enjoyable album, Blue Note 1542. I don't know when my next contribution will be. I'll have to look at, I'll have to talk with Steven about it, but also see what albums I have next. But I've really enjoyed making these 1500 series albums, these great, being able to hear how these musicians really started out in the 50s, and then how they've progressed into the 60s, if they continued with Blue Note. A really interesting kind of comparison. So that'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please think about liking, subscribing, and I will see you in the next final video. Bye.